Day 2 of the P. Diddy trial is underway. Diddy is charged with human trafficking and RICO violations. RICO stands for the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act. Originally designed to combat organized crime, it allows the government to charge individuals with activity connected to illegal or illegitimate enterprises. RICO effectively targets organizations or individuals who are involved in a pattern of activity as opposed to focusing on just individual crimes. The government began their case in chief with the male escort who testified as to the activities at Diddy's parties. Expect the defense to hammer away at each witness's credibility, alleging, for example, that they are just out for a big payday on a civil lawsuit. Not to mention those witnesses who did keep quiet for a long time until the story broke, and then they finally came forward. Here's what to keep in mind. It's not about the freaky nature of it, the baby oil, or any of that. The government must prove force, fraud, or coercion, a lack of consent, and as for the commercial sex acts, that means that the individuals were forced or coerced into performing sex for profit or something of value. If the government can't prove those, they lose. And not surprisingly, the Diddy defense is owning up to those issues they can't change, and that is that he's a horrific, domestically violent person. That videotape is what we call a fact beyond change. But the defense is saying, hey, he may be domestically violent, for which he's very sorry and wants to address. However, that doesn't make him guilty of these charges, in order to keep them focused on what the charges are, that is the human trafficking and the RICO violations. It will be interesting to see what theory of the case emerges as the defense starts to show its cards by cross-examining each and every witness. A pattern should develop, important to being able to teach the jury as to why they believe P. Diddy is innocent. On the converse, expect the government to hammer away with its own witnesses, showing a pattern of conduct that indicates that Mr. Sean Combs is in fact guilty of the crimes charged. Something to keep in mind objectively is that in 83% of federal cases, the government obtains a conviction. That doesn't mean Diddy will be convicted, it just means it's statistically likely. But then again, in this day and age, expect the unexpected.